We are live with the Canadian Esports Championship Series. All of us are roasting Natural right now, but he's the one who's been doing his research, so I don't know if we should be too hard on that. My name is Wes Rambo. I am joined today by Kang. I'm joined by Natural. I'm joined by Stefano, Funky D, in the corner, no cam. You just have to imagine his luscious locks of hair. But we do have a very exciting best of three coming up for you today. We have Joe's Big Biceps up against Boomer Mechanics Only, arguably the best two names of teams in the league, Kang.
Arguably, I think there's a couple other teams in there that could make a
Definitely.
run for their money, but
Weasel Teasers
yeah,
are up near
pretty
at the top
solid.
as well. Yeah, true.
Birds aren't real. Come on.
True. We
Yeah.
we just have good team names in general in this league, but we also have some very exciting League of Legends coming up, and we won't take too long. The teams are raring to go, but Natural. We were talking just before this about predictions between these two teams and things to look out for here. And you've been casting a bunch of these teams in the past little while. What are you expecting
Mhm.
out of these two teams in terms of maybe champion picks or play styles coming through that they've developed over the season so far?
Well, just big biceps. I mean, they have a playstyle that's very reminiscent of their team name. They go in. They really like champions that can just press their R buttons and
Mm-hmm.
go in. Like the Renekton, we've seen the Olaf. We've seen even the Sivir, I believe. Um, so I'm looking forward to just big biceps. Full frontal aggression, no stopping, full alpha mode. Um, on the other hand, I'm not too sure about Boomer Mechanics Only. I remember casting, I think it was the first game that I casted was
Sure.
actually Boomer Mechanics Only,
Yeah.
but I don't remember much. If you can
Well,
maybe
and
remind me
yeah, in
of
that
some other
case, I'll
picks.
I'll, I'll send it over to Stefano because Stefano was mentioning he's got some inside info about Boomer Mechanics Only. Stefano?
Yeah, I see. I have some inside info about Boomer Mechanics Only, and unfortunately, I can't share that here. But what I can say is Boomer Mechanics Only is a team that does not like to get behind, and however far they get behind, they will always limit test. I genuinely think these league games are just a practice game for them for some other league for them because they will try anything at any time. Um, they're not trying the Vladimir support just yet, but in terms of gameplay and macro decisions, these guys are hyper aggressive and they will take skirmishes pretty much whenever they can see them.
All right. Well, we aren't going to have much further ado. Darren's not here. Dad's not here to tell us all that we need to go in more depth. So we're just going to go right into draft, boys. We are looking at BMO over on the blue side, and they're going to be starting off with those bans. We'll see what they take away. Kang, I don't know. We have seen a lot of Vladimir in the match history of Bahu Utot. Is that signifying maybe that BMO want to take that away, or do you think that BMO are okay with facing up against the menace that is Vladimir support? Sorry, I couldn't say
I
it with a
mean,
straight face.
Almost got there. Almost got
it,
there.
it could go either way, I think. I mean, if they think it's going to be a problem, I don't see why you wouldn't ban it. But
Sure.
on the other hand, uh, I mean, JBB have lost with it before, so maybe they don't perceive it as a threat.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe not worth the ban in this case. They do ban away the Olaf though, which we do know could potentially come in for that top lane there. We
Yeah,
know
top
and
lane or jungle. We've seen
yeah,
it from Kid Corito as
for
well.
sure.
Olaf is a pretty common ban up against JBB. And Hecarim comes in. Top tier jungler still, even after the nerfs. Really, really good jungler here. So then Sivir as well. And with BMO having first pick, uh, you know, Stefano, what do you think? Are they going to try to prioritize that matchup for Lucan and try to maybe grab the Xerath if it doesn't get banned away? It looks like Azir was banned, so will Xerath be the last ban? If it isn't, do BMO go for it?
I don't think you're ever in a position as BMO where you should be first picking Xerath.
Right.
Xerath gets pretty hard counter. I would like to see preferably a jungler out of BMO now. There is Olaf ban, so they can go for the Udyr, which is pretty hotly contested, or something
Yep.
like Skarner. Um, but either I guess BMO, yeah, jungler for Nocturne. I'm guessing BMO is gonna go in on this heavy kind of heavy engage, heavy skirmish style, and I think Nocturne fits that really well.
Yeah. Nocturne coming in. The response in the jungle, maybe something like an Udyr. We did mention that that's pretty popular, but As well, you've got to deal with that Nocturne really spiking at level 6 in terms of gank potential. Uh-oh.
First pick support.
There we go.
Natural, we got it.
Maybe.
I'm hoping, I am praying that this isn't Vladimir support and this is instead a Vladimir in the mid or top lane for Mutant. But who knows? Maybe we're all wrong. Maybe he's got us all fooled, and that the Vladimir Senna bot lane tech is what we're really missing out on. As we do have the Graves come in as the second pick, and the Twitch actually coming out for BMO.
Twitch as a response coming down there. You definitely, if it is Vladimir support, you're already kind of shaking a little bit by the idea of Twitch ADC, because, of course, you can still be doing damage to Vladimir when he's down in his pool. So just a little bit of, any sort of damage over time hurts Vladimir. But Xerath is picked up, and it is a blind pick mid. So unless if they're planning to go with the Vladimir mid, which potentially, if BMO haven't done enough of their homework, or if JBB are doing something more reasonable, it could be a Xerath into Vladimir matchup here. Senna is the pick, though, and that just makes it more and more likely that we're seeing JBB staying with the trends.
I am sad.
I
Sad.
haven't seen this yet, so I'm still pretty hopeful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Little-
I want to see what it is. I mean,
Staying
it
a little
seems
green,
totally
maybe,
ridiculous to
but-
me, but who knows? Yeah.
I have some hope, maybe just because I haven't seen it yet. So I'm actually pretty interested in where this is gonna go.
I don't know. When I see that Senna pick, I saw the Vladimir, I was hoping, but now I see the Senna, and I'm less hopeful. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe JVB are just baiting us into flaming them.
True.
We'll have to see, though.
A false
I-
sense of security.
I do gotta say, I think the Senna Vladimir ball would be awful this game. Senna's gonna get outranged, or Senna's gonna get outranged by the Zerath, and then she's gonna get dove late game by the Nocturne, potentially by the Twitch as well with the flanks. So Senna's main strength in this comp would be able to get through lane phase really effectively. But if you have a Vladimir support, I don't think you're getting through lane phase all that effectively. So we'll see where it ends up going. But set picked up by JBB and Nami to count BMO. What are you gonna make of it?
Yeah, come on. Set support. Set support would be great, JBB.
Yeah, come on, do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Well,
Of course.
the other thing I was interested in is that Udyr ban comes in from JBB, potentially indicating they might be expecting this to be a Nocturne top. It would be an interesting adjustment, but it definitely is going to be jungle as we see the Gnar come in. So that Udyr ban just kind of thrown out for nothing, it looks like. And here we go. Moment of truth. Natural is already in anticipation of this. Oh, no. Okay, so
All right.
Lissandra is
Have
going
fun.
mid. Vladimir's going, going support, and Stefano has left the call.
right.
Vladimir support, too much for him to handle.
Yeah,
Oh,
a little too
Lord.
much. I honestly don't even think it's that bad. From what I'm seeing right now, JBB have a comp that makes a little bit more sense to me. Obviously, Stefano doesn't think so, but I mean, to me, it seems like JBB have put themselves in a position where they could potentially just kite out the Nocturne and then just re-engage or something with set Lissandra. I honestly don't see how BMO can actually force a fight
Yeah,
other than the Nocturne diving and dying.
yeah. The rest of the team setup definitely looks okay. Okay, well, we are going to go for a break in just a moment, but before we do, we are going to get rapid fire predictions from each one of you, and I don't want any context. I don't want you to explain it. I just want you to say who's going to win and by how much. Stefano, you go first.
BMO is gonna win.
All right. Natural.
JBB, and I'm gonna be really sad.
Kang.
For this game or for the whole series?
For this game.
Oh, JBB.
All right. JBB it is for the predictions. I'm going to predict BMO because I just don't believe in the Vlad support. But we are 2-2, so only the game will decide. We will be back after a quick break for tournament draft just a few minutes, and we're going to get underway with BMO versus JBB Game 1. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Canadian Esports Championship Series. It's League of Legends tonight. We are having the best of 3 versus BMO and JBB. Joe's Big Biceps versus Boomer Mechanics only. Boomer Mechanics starting over there on the blue side. My name is Wes Rambo, and I'm joined by Natural. And I also, to our producer, I don't have the game feed right now. I'm not sure if that's on yet or not, but in any case, we are getting into a best of 3 here. And Natural, you predicted that Joe's Big Biceps would win, even in spite of this Vladimir support.
There we go.
What do you think? What do you think they've got that they're bringing to the table that's going to overcome that sort of weird pick down there?
Well, I was kind of, I was very much hoping for it to not be a Vladimir support.
Oh,
I was wishing both the set, both the Lissandra to maybe go into
Wait.
support position.
Look at
But it doesn't
the
look like
items, Natural. It's Vladimir top. It's great. Wait.
No,
It's Senna. No. You're right. Senna, fasting Senna. Okay,
Yeah.
I totally missed that. Okay,
It's the same
so
exact setup that
so it's
they
Vladimir
had
bot lane.
last time.
All right. I was not watching that game, and so you are the one that's more knowledgeable than me. My bad. BMO versus JBB coming in. So at least it's Vladimir as the bot lane carry, so they aren't going for like a Vladimir full support, with support items and everything like that. I would say that's at least a little bit more reasonable, especially with the Graves in the jungle able to, take up the mantle of that.
But it actually looks like you're right. It is
No,
the
it is
set.
Vladimir top, and it's set bot lane with Senna. Oh man, I'm looking down at the bottom at these player icons, and it's screwing me up here. But we do have BMO now up against a very unusual lane of Senna set, though not as unusual. I mean, the same reason that we've seen Senna Sion, Senna Tom Kench kind of work out, you could definitely see that Senna set could be something reasonable. So we'll see how that bot lane goes. We'll have to keep an eye out there.
Yeah, I mean, bless us all. This is a wonderful day. We don't get to see the whole Vladimir Senna. It is the set instead, which I'm very happy to see. Set Senna has been picked. It's not new. It is a thing, and you can try new things for sure, but sometimes there's just a reason why they don't work. And it looks like JBB did manage to actually learn from their mistake last time. I do see a lot of damage come through here from Lucan. One thing that I want to note, as someone who has played Lissandra quite a few times, even though I am not a mid laner per se, is that Lissandra absolutely...
For me, your voice cut out there when you were about to talk about Lissandra, so I guess either you'll have to reset, maybe turn off your camera, or come back, but we'll find out more about what Natural thinks about Lissandra later on. I know he's a fan of the pick. In the meantime, pretty slow lanes so far, except as we mentioned, Lucan was in the top lane, was in the mid lane there, doing a lot of damage. We know that's kind of Lucan's signature pick, that Xerath, and definitely getting something out of it at first, though it is the Birdman trying to stay even here and doing a decent job of staying even in CS. So we'll keep an eye out on that mid lane. The damage comes back down, and now I hear you again, Natural.
I'm back for some reason. I don't know why. I disconnected from the call. But yeah, I don't know how much you caught of what I was saying.
It sounded like you were about to talk about Lissandra, but we didn't hear anything about Lissandra. So tell us what you were about to say about that pick.
Yeah, I have played Lissandra quite a bit, and as someone who has played it quite a bit, it absolutely sucks into Xerath because you get hard at range, and yeah, he's going to be forced to flash here. Lissandra into Xerath is a very matchup, perhaps one of the hardest matchups that Lissandra has, because you basically can't touch him, and Lissandra is extremely immobile. It's really, really hard, and it has to be noted that Lissandra was picked into the Xerath, not the other way around.
Yeah, potentially just a comfort pick, but we're already seeing that difficulty. Like you said, the flash forced out by Birdming in the mid there. So we'll see if Lucan can take advantage of that. There was a bit of a farm lead gained by the Lissandra. You see damage going back and forth, and they've got a nice push coming in here Hopefully going to try to deny some farm away from this Vladimir. But a gank coming into the top lane, and Flash is blown. First blood to the Vladimir. Bahutot, by the way, has switched up to the top side from the support role. So we are seeing Bahutot go back to the top lane there and go back to his old roots. And,
Yeah,
to set
absolutely.
in the bot lane there. Yeah, there we go. Now we got it switched around. It took me a second to get wrap my head around exactly what JBB had done here as well. But I do like these teams that are going with sort of flexible rosters and able to switch around. It definitely makes them harder to scout, and that's just one of the more advantage you can sort of try to gain over your opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, a lot of the key picks that we were talking about, but the Birdman here.
Lucan grabbing the ult kill, and this is what Lucan likes to do on that Xerath. He just goes, pokes him down until he gets his ult, and then uses it pretty much on cooldown to grab those kills. So they both take a kill, and the dragon there, BMO, back in the lead in terms of pressure in this game, though the gold lead's still over to JBB.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's really hard for Birdman to do anything. He has to concede a lot and wait for a gank. Excuse me. That's pretty much the only way that this lane is playable, which is kind of unfortunate. But you know, sabotaging yourself in draft is definitely not the best idea. So we have a trap here.
Sacknut looking for a gank. They do get a little damage onto Animating Dead. They go for a lot of damage, and Kid Kirito is the one to finish it off in the end with the haymaker. It does go through, but Lucan is here. The teleport has come in. We'll see if he can get anything off of this. Lucan does not have the ultimate available, so he's just going to have to go for the Q. Doesn't manage to get the final bit of damage down, and now No Bamboozles trying to keep them interested, but it's Birdmang finally with the follow-up. Lucan trying to go for damage. They're so low, but he just doesn't get any, and Jay have turned this one around hardcore. That is going to be a big gold lead coming in for JBB, and a lot of pressure in the bot lane.
Perfect. I mean, really well played from JBB, and now the difficult matchup that we were talking about is completely reversed. We see here, there's a lot of damage onto Sacknut and Denied. Their bars are very low, but it doesn't matter because you have the Lissandra roam, and at this point it's a 3v3, and it's so easy for Lissandra to clean these fights out. With her ultimate, she just locks down Lucan and he insta dies. And it's just a very easy play for JBB to punish. They just don't have the damage to kill off the rest of JBB, and they get punished for it. Well played from the Birdman. That was a good roam. On the other side, J Beach, he was far away during that time. He was invading top side, which is a little unfortunate. You know, you have to. If your team is gonna fight bot side, you should be there, especially as a Nocturne with level 6.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an overcommitment without the jungler presence, and Nocturne, you know, maybe did just snap level 6 from that invade, still staying a little bit ahead in farm, but you'd hope for more as the amount of kill participation, 100% kill participation for Sacknut, looking definitely like the more effective jungler so far in this game. So J Beach definitely going to have to make a lot out of that Nocturne. Has hit level 6 now, and it's going to be used. Going for a fight here in the river. Lucan is here to assist, but the consistent damage just isn't there. There we go. Lucan coming in with the ult, and Gorgster has also shown up, shuts down the Graves. Really nice response there from BMO off of the J Beach ult, and that's exactly what we wanted to see.
Yeah, and a good counterattack there from BMO. But I think this is also on G really misestimating what they can actually do in that fight. Neither Sacknut or the Birdmang had their ultimates. Well, of course, you know, the Nocturne ultimate is pretty good. And the Birdmang really needs his ultimate to be able to pull like a full combo off. Alessandra without her ultimate really isn't that good. So yeah, it's a bit of a unfortunate situation there, especially because Baku Uto did not have priority. Gorgster was there way before. So this was a losing fight, and unfortunately JBB didn't manage to recognize that in time and got punished for it.
Absolutely. So that's going to be a lead now for JBB, but only by a few hundred gold as BMO makes something out of that, and also pick up the Rift Herald as well onto the Nocturne. So that's definitely going to be used to grab a couple of plates. We'll see how much effect you can get. It's always so satisfying to grab a kill right into some plates where you can apply lots of pressure to that tower, get a bunch of kills on your carries. We'll see if they're able to do it. Meanwhile, over at the bot lane, You do see a bit of a farm lead coming in from No Bamboozles, who's been able to, yeah, get his money's worth down there in this ranged matchup. Meanwhile, Bahu Utot is up top, slaying Gorgster in the solo kill. Animating Dead, meanwhile, also taking a bunch of damage. Sacknut has found another bush gank onto the onto the BMO bot lane. And it's going to be No Bamboozles all alone there, vulnerable to a dive here with Nocturne protecting him. They're not going to go for it and just back off. But JBB, man, it's just blow for blow right now, and JBB are up ahead here.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw in the bot lane, that was just animating Jed just stepping too far forward without vision into the bush. Very easy punish for Set, as the Birdman here.
Okay, to Birdmang looking for a bit of a bait. Lucan might have overextended slightly. Hack Splash comes in from Kid Corito. Can Lucan find a kill? No, he's going to get... Oh my god! Lucan from the grave takes out Lissandra with the last minute ultimate, and he did the absolute most he possibly could there. Really, really well played, honestly, by Lucan to manage to grab that kill, but a good job by Kid Corito to finally shut down that Xerath. 4-7 is the score. JBB still in the lead. Lucan definitely the shining light on BMO currently.
Absolutely, and the Birdman there, unfortunate. Lucan, well played, predicting that the Birdman would just run back into his side of the map. As BMO do pick up the first Drake, it's a Cloud, but
Second
now...
Drake. Yep.
Second Drake, excuse me, yeah.
Yep. Soloed that one early
It
on
is
the
going
first
to
one.
be an Infernal Soul, so of course that's very important. One thing I do want to bring your attention to is that Bahu Utot actually started with a Dark Seal. And I was going to criticize him for starting Dark Seal and Ignite. It's a very disrespectful start, especially into a Gnar. But he actually managed to farm pretty decently well and managed to get 2 kills off. And now he's sitting on a Proto Belt as well as a 4-stack Dark Seal. So his disrespectful start did pay off. We'll have to see if he actually is able to carry this. It's very possible. He can pretty much one-pop the entire backline, and the backline of BMO is very fragile. Nami, Twitch, and Xerath are extremely fragile, especially, someone who can just ignore the key abilities as Vladimir can.
But we have the gank coming in. He's not going to be able to ignore this. Tries to use the ultimate, but the shutdown does come through. And now, like you say, Vladimir with that early lead, Bahu Utot was able to get that early mythic. He was the first player on the map to get the mythic, but a great gank coming in there, and that's always the threat of a Nocturne. You've always got to be watching out for that. J Beach taking advantage there, and the Rift Herald summon. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They're going to get so much gold onto that Gnar and Nocturne here as they take the entire first turret with every single plate at about 13 minutes in. Now, Lucan is still farming in the mid lane and trying to make up what he can here, but JBB as well trying to answer in the bot lane. BMO and JBB are neck and neck in this game right now. Like you say, potential for carry on both sides here.
Absolutely, but we do have to note that the gold distribution right now is, I'd say, more in favor of BMO. It's a pretty tough call. The thing is, Kid Hero does have quite a bit of gold, but we see the flash, actually.
Flash from Lucan tries to get some damage. The Birdmang might have to use the ultimate here, and he does, but Gorgster and J-Beach are both here. They try to go for the poke, and actually, they whiff it all as Birdmang is able to get away from that one using the ultimate. So it's going to be a cooldown from Lucan, a very important one. Sacknut, though, also getting caught out here is the ultimate from Nocturne. Not going to find anything there. All of the JBB members get out free, but BMO still with the gold lead and still with the map control.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, it's this mid matchup that's really making it very difficult for JBB to get any more important leads, let's say. As we see Bahu Utot here, he's going to Proto Belt forward.
Yeah, and like you said, it kind of is on Bahu Utot's back, so he's trying to force this. Does use the ultimate, and also Animating Dead having to flash away. JBB looking for this. No Bamboozle's taking a lot of damage. There's the Graves ultimate. Does not quite find the right amount of damage. Lucan is also vulnerable here, but he doesn't go down either. JBB just don't have the ability to lock these players down, and so everybody's getting away with such low HP. They continue to push on here, and they might be able to grab this turret, but they really wanted those kills, Natural. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to even get the turret here at this point with the poke.
Yeah, of course, this is the Arath, very effective at just clearing those waves from range and basically telling people to stop in their tracks. But you can chop it up from JBB to unlucky, but realistically, I would not call it unlucky. JBB didn't really manage to layer any of their ultimates together. One of the very important things in League of Legends, of course, is making it impossible for your enemies to dodge any abilities.
Yes.
So once you see CC come down, you kind of layer your ability on top of each other and make it impossible for them to do anything about it. They kind of fail to do that, and they don't get kills because of it. As we see now, the state of the game is very. It's still fairly close, but again, is the problem is what can these champions actually do with the gold that they have right now? And I feel like BMO is on a pretty good track right now.
Yeah, Xerath hitting that Luden's Echo this early, being that strong, is just so important here at this point in the game. This sort of early mid game, Xerath can be such a terror to play against with that really, really good poke coming in. JBB with the kill lead, but no dragons, no objectives taken at all. They might be looking for this next Infernal. They do not want to get put on soul point, especially not against the Fed Xerath. And Sacknut is looking for Gorgster to start this off. Gorgster to get away from this one, but also Birdmang is here. The ultimate comes in. Mega Gnar is used to full effect, and it ends up being Sacknut and Birdmang who are completely worse for wear. Bahutote's going to go in with the engage, though. Lucan will fall to this ultimate. Bahutote grabs one. The kills are all over. This teamfight is so spread out. Kid Corito trying to chase down the Gnar. The Haymaker does not connect. No Bamboozles takes out one. Kid Corito's going to find the kill, but he's going to get taken down to the Gnar. Now it is going to be the Nocturne ultimate coming in. Everybody's joining this one by one, but it looks like JBB will just get out ahead in this fight as J-Beach is the last one alive on BMO and has to fight a 1v2. The Dragon is up as well. J-Beach has the smite, but this replay, JBB definitely makes the better trades here.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the end of this fight. I mean, at this point, it's pretty much over already. J-Beach doesn't have to finish off Bahu Utot, and of course, GG9 does have quite a bit of damage now with the Kraken Slayer. But that fight was very, very chaotic, and it all started off with very good damage coming out from Lucan. But then his positioning is fragile, I would say, as Bahu Utot manages to find him. And this is basically how these fights are going to play out. It's going to be whether Lucan can hold his distance against this Vladimir, and whether or not Bamboozles and G-Beach can kill Denied and the Birdbang, while still kind of surviving and playing around that Vladimir positioning is going to be very, very important in this game.
Yeah, those key champions. This Herald will be used to break the mid tower. That's definitely going to give BMO a little bit more map control, which is something they've been doing pretty well with so far, but JBB did win that last fight, so a 5v5 probably isn't the answer for BMO at this point in the game. Doesn't seem to be anyway. And there's Sacknut. I think he was able to steal that big raptor away, so that's a little gold going into his pocket, but the jungle control is taken by BMO, and Sacknut is wandering into bushes, not able to check whether or not an enemy is there. Now the fight is on, though. A huge Gnar ultimate coming in. Double kill already coming in from Twitch as well. He has gone down. A shutdown over to Bahu Utot, but it looks like BMO might have turned this one around as J-Beach takes out GG Denied. Gorgster with a double kill on the back end of that fight. These fights are just chaos right now, Natural, and this time BMO comes out on top.
Yeah, and it's really sad because we see here that Bahu Utot finds a very good ultimate, but in Gorgster finds an even better ultimate. He finds an absolutely massive Gnar into the wall, I believe on 3 or 4, and that's all they need. J-Beach follows up, and so does No Bamboozles. They're both free hitting the backline. And the Nami is more than enough to peel from Bahu Utot because he doesn't go in. He knows the fight is already doomed, so he tries to get out, but it's really, really difficult. Like, either you get out and you don't get anything for it, or you go deeper and you probably die for it as well. And at this point, BMO is really, really in a comfortable lead. JBB do have some scaling options with the Senna, though, and the Vladimir, so it's not, I wouldn't call it doomed, but it's going to be very, very hard, as now the difference in the mid lane is going to just exponentially increase because Xerath doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Lissandra is a lot it's quite difficult. Lissandra is very difficult to pilot in fights. Meanwhile, Xerath, as long as you don't die to Bahu Utot, you will have massive impact at this point.
Yeah, definitely with those low cooldowns, with the mana being, being restored a lot. It is Xerath just having an effect in these fights almost no matter what, exactly like you say. So we'll see if Lucan can continue to do that. But like you said, JBB, scaling options, they need these dragons now. BMO cannot be allowed to get this Infernal Drake. That would probably decide the game. And I have a feeling this is going to start coming down to these team fights. And that is the other thing that I think somewhat benefits JBB. As long as they can avoid Gorgster's ultimate, it looks like they definitely have options in a 5v5 here. So if they can avoid getting poked down and find that big engage coming in from the Set and Lissandra.
They absolutely have a lot of options. That's the nice thing, is that JBB does have quite a fairly decent amount of engage, and their combo can be quite nasty. One of the combos that we can see is the Senna E. Of course, giving all of her allies that can make spotting where Lissandra and Vladimir and Set are coming from very, very difficult and, much more unpredictable. So if JBB managed to find a pocket of vision where they're not seen, and they find a good engage, the amount of damage that can come through, if Lucan dies instantly, if no Bamboozles dies instantly, they have a chance of winning these fights. It's just that they have to manage to pull off these vision fights, as we see here is breaking out.
Here we go, fight coming in. J-Beach has already found Senna. That's a huge pickup, but J-Beach might get chased down here. Sacknut does get pretty low, but they do shut down J-Beach and have BMO extended too far. Another shutdown. That's 2 over to the Graves. Huge to get that on what is essentially the AD carry of JBB, and Dragon is coming up pretty soon. What are the implications of this fight? It was a 2-for-1 here in favor of JBB. Bahutot playing with fire going into these bushes. Flashes in, though. Animating Dead is just gone, and that ultimate is going to finish him off, so that's another kill found. JBB are taking control of these objectives as soon as they possibly can. That's another dragon over to JBB off of that fight.
Super well played there from Bahutot. He knows he's strong enough to one-shot a carry and get out. He has the flash, he has the ignite, he has 2 items. Yeah, he knows he can do it. He does it. He pulls the trigger, and now Amazing Dread is down, and this Infernal Drake, which is absolutely crucial, is going down.
Watch out for Gnar on the flank, though. Here comes the ultimate. It does go over to the BMO, the JBB side, and a kill has gone down as well. Nocturne is dead. Shutdown's coming in, though, and the Xerath will be so effective if they can get anything on him as well. Gorgster is able to get some damage down. All of these JBB members are so low. And Lucan is hunting. Let's see if he can find anything. The stun misses. The W misses as well. It's a Q coming in. Sacknut goes pretty low, but now the ultimate has been used from the Xerath. And Sacknut just gets away there with the Gale Force. So JBB will recover the Dragon, and they will win the team fight. These fights are so close, though, Natural. BMO definitely continue to have chances to get back in here.
Yeah, absolutely. That was quite close. So the amount of AoE very, very good from Lucan and J Beach there. They managed to find like a lot of people in one place, and Nocturne E, I believe, did quite a lot of damage and in AoE zone. But the problem is no Bamboozles goes way too early. He pops out of the stealth and he starts auto attacking, but he's too close, and the kiting isn't good enough. Really, really sad, because that is the perfect setup for no Bamboozles. If he manages to get a slightly better angle and manage to space better, that's an ace. That's a free ace. He has the Runons, he has the Kraken Slayer. He is really, really strong, and he could manage to get a lot more done. But unfortunately, just not quite there yet. Yeah, very sad to see. But let's hope that he manages to pull that off a little bit better next time.
You mentioned the scaling of Senna. Definitely going to start coming into effect. You can see the ultimate continuously being used by Lucan. Like I said, on cooldown, he uses that thing to try to poke them out, try to get somebody to recall, and indeed, that is going to be what GG Denied has to do. And are they going to use this to go on the Baron? They're thinking about it, but instead they just flood into the jungle, get some vision control here. But Senna has picked up that Rage Knife. So that scaling coming in, very, very beneficial. Nami ultimate comes in. Here we go. The engage coming in from J Beach. Peel has already started from the set, though, and it's Nocturne to go down first. More kills, shut down the double kill from 1Q. Lucan's doing huge damage in these team fights, and it is so far a 2 for 2 because of Lucan's damage. BMO and JBB so close right now together, and it's still that Xerath so threatening against all of the squishy members of JBB. And so it's just a wash here. 2 for 2. Nobody can get anything off of that.
Yeah, and as we rewatch this, watch No Bamboozles and Lucan. This time, No Bamboozles is in a perfect spot. No one can touch him. He goes a little too far forward. Again, he has to flash out. Yeah, definitely going to have to work on his positioning a little bit more. But he still managed to get a lot of damage out, and he doesn't die. And Lucan, on the other hand, is completely untouched and gets to free farm. And he ults again here, ulting off CD, as you said. One thing that we can say is that they do have a set that provides a little bit of sustain, but it's not enough.
Yeah, it often isn't enough. And yeah, like you say, you know, No Bamboozles did manage to get the damage done that he needed to, even if he maybe overextended a bit near the end of the fight. So JBB still a couple thousand gold behind, and BMO continuing to try to grab that map control with the constant Xerath poke coming in. It's a poke comp just because of the Xerath at this point, even though there isn't really any other poke to speak of. They're using that long-range engage from J-Beach and Gorgster following up in order to finish off those kills. So we will see who wants to go for the Baron. 2 dragons apiece. Soul isn't anywhere near this game so far, and so Baron is going to be the focus, but these two teams are both so volatile in a team fight that it seems really difficult to make that decision about whether we should go for that Baron or not. It's such a stalemate.
In my opinion, JBB absolutely do have to contest this, and the reason is because they're team fighting. If they manage to get out of vision, I don't have time to analyze that.
All right, we're going in with the fight again. Sacknut has already taken down the ADC. That's really big, but Lucan has traded. That's Bahu Tote going down. A huge kill there. Will the rest of JBB be able to get more damage done? J-Beach still doing a lot of damage, but he gets killed so quickly from those carries. JBB and BMO, such a posturing battle here, but the Birdman might go down. The last auto attack, Gorgster uses the Stride Breaker to finish it off. 20 kills to 20 here, and BMO came out ahead in that fight, even with No Bamboozles going down so early. It's clear who the real source of damage is here on BMO, and that's Lucan with this Xerath.
Yeah, and this is huge. They get the Drake, and they put themselves on Infernal Soul Point, which is absolutely massive, of course. They could have gone for a Baron, but they're just going to decide to take the tier 2 down in the mid lane as well as Dragon, and I honestly kind of agree with that. The reason is because if you go for a Baron, JBB trade for the Drake, and then they put themselves on Infernal Soul Point with 4 Infernal Drakes, which is a lot. And instead, taking the tower will give you that much more pressure and space to make plays, especially with this Nocturne, man. He can come out of nowhere and dive you. Oh, but we see the flash here.
Speaking of out of nowhere, there's the flash from Kid Kirito, knowing it's okay to do that because he's got the Hex Flash for later, and that is going to be animating dead. Caught out quite a few times in this game, way out ahead of their team.
Oh
look
my
at that
god.
damage. GG Denied would die if all 3 of those hit him, and so Lucan definitely still threatening these carries here. But that means JBB have a 5 versus 4. GG Denied does have to go back and recall. They are still working towards the Baron, at least to clear out some vision here. They need GG Denied if they want any sort of consistent damage on the Baron, so they're not going to be taking it just yet, but they are posturing around this area. They're trying to look for opportunities to look for another pick.
This is exactly what they want. They want Lissandra to be in these types of pick situations. When you don't know where Lissandra is coming from, this could be very deadly.
Gorgster, is he going to get greedy? Doesn't look like it, and maybe they pulled the trick a little too quickly. Gorgster did not totally have all the info he needed there, but they come out of the bush, reveal their position, grab the Scuttle Crab, a valuable objective in its own right.
Birdman should be hugging that wall. Please hug that southern wall near the mid lane. Oh, but he gets caught.
I get hit. Oh no, that is just too much of an overextension. The Senna way out of position there, honestly. And now Gorgster wants to keep chasing. Bahu Tote, look at how much damage that Gnar is doing. He's going to try to go in. Mega Gnar's almost up. He goes in for the ultimate, doesn't use it yet. And that damage coming through from Xerath sends JBB tail and running. They are totally unable to deal with this. The shutdown as well from No Bamboozles, who's able to get that poison down. That's a free Baron for BMO just off of the catch, and GG Denied just overextends.
Yeah, that's a disaster. I mean, now at this point, the game is very, very hard for JBB to win. I wouldn't even say just because of the state of the game, but it's also how we've seen these fights play out. It doesn't seem like JBB understand how they actually win these fights, though. As I say that, okay, Lucan.
Yeah, they blow Lucan's flash. It's a valuable summoner spell, but he hasn't been needing it very often. Honestly, they're just like you say, they just don't quite have the positioning to get on these carries.
Yeah, this is something that I was trying to mention before both teams rudely interrupted me.
Right. Yes.
It's just that Lissandra and Vladimir really flanks, you know, and so does the set. They really need to kind of go at these teams from different angles, not just from the front, because if you do that, you're just gonna get out-kited and outranged by Lucan. And the Nami, of course, is really, really good at providing that extra peeling and kiting, right? It's really easy for Lucan and No Bamboozles to just not get hit by anything. And Kid
Nami-
Kirito and DeBirdbang just need to find those angles, those pockets of vision where they can just engage on multiple people at the same time.
Even though Animating Dead's squishiness definitely has caused him to go down a couple too many times, still, Nami is turning out to be a really good pick in this team. Here's the engage, but J-Beach just goes in a little too fast. Huge ultimate, though. It was all bait just for Gorgster. Lucan dominating on that kill, and now Gorgster taking a lot of damage. A double kill comes in, so now it is a 2-for-2 once again, and JBB probably will take those, but it's another double. Oh, a triple coming in from Lucan, who just surprises the Lissandra as well. A triple kill on the Xerath. Lucan completely owns this map right now. He is not letting anybody get anywhere near him.
Yeah, as we see this replay again, I mean, at this point, it's not that much that there's any kind of misplays or anything like that. It's just that JBB shouldn't be in the position to get picked in the first place. But it's really hard. They're really far behind, and that snipe is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Look and find that max range Q. You'll have to see it. And now this is an inhibitor going down, and this is most likely the Infernal Soul. So if this wasn't, you know, absolutely miserable for JBB before, and GG Denied almost dies here just to the ultimate, it's really tough.
The threat of this Xerath just removing you from the map while you're in base is so difficult to deal with for JBB right now, and BMO, JBB definitely want to be looking at banning the Xerath as other teams have been doing. They understand how good Lucan is on this pick. It is such a signature champion for him. Now this dragon's coming up, and JBB, like we said before, have to contest. Oh my god! Lucan blows up the tank in one combo of spells without the ultimate. More damage coming in. This is just over. Look at what Lucan is doing to their team. We do see Graves able to take out the Nocturne, but Nocturne just is not a threat at all. Taking him out does nothing. Another double kill coming in. Lucan is completely 1v9. Was that an extended penta? Just unbelievable from Lucan here. They're going to be able to take that one all the way to the base.
Yeah, I mean, we see a bit of a replay here, but at this point, it really doesn't matter that much. Sakna does manage to get, you know, a big shotgun blast. But yeah, Lucan is just huge. If he doesn't die, the game is over, and they don't manage to kill him. And so the game is over.
Yep, the game indeed is over. The next champion will spawn right now.
Oh?
And actually, now with the Vladimir threatening, they are looking into maybe trying to come back from this, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it as Gorgster. No, they do back off. Here we go. So they are coming back into the, and our analysts joined up in this call thinking that it was over, but actually it's not quite over, folks. We are still having, they do choose to play it conservatively. They go back, they go for the soul, and once they have gotten that done, they will likely try to push to end, but man, it's just the Lucan show, completely destroying JBB in these team fights with all that poke. At this point, you can see the Horizon Focus has come out. The Seraph's Embrace has been completed. Luton's Echo, of course. 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. It's just devastation right here from the Xerath.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I said it was difficult before. If it's not difficult before, then it's difficult now. I mean, it's not even difficult. It's pretty much impossible.
Not even
Um,
impossible. I mean, like, the thing you have to do is just find Lucan caught out, and he's just, like, he's doing damage to you from halfway across the map. Like, you can't catch him. Just like you said, seems almost impossible here. JBB, well, BMO have to make a big mistake. Let's say that.
absolutely. As the ultimate comes down, and that's almost 100% of his health bar
Oh
in
my!
a single ultimate. That's almost
Oh.
100% of his HP.
In
And
one orb of his
yeah.
ultimate. And if you look at over at the cooldown, it's, you know, it's not very long, so that is happening all the time. Actually, though, the engage comes through. Birdman goes down, but they have caught out a couple of the players here. They need to find the Xerath, though. Lucan, oh my god, will he be able to get taken down here? It looks like he will. That's going to be Bahu Utot finding the kill. A triple coming in from the Graves, and the shutdown goes to Bahu Utot. That is massive. There are no Nexus turrets remaining, but BMO has been aced by JBB.
Yeah, and here, Lucan, he gets a little caught here. He's a little too close to to Bahu Utot, and Bahu Utot has flash, has his ignite, has his ultimate. It doesn't matter how much damage you do if you're in the pool. You
Yep.
can't touch him.
Oh,
So
man.
well played there. And right now, if you're JBB, you comms, there's a bunch of it's huge, winnable.
Yep.
Because this is absolutely what they needed. I mean, it's still insanely hard, but at this point, it's maybe possible. You have the Vladimir unlocked. The Sacknet is actually doing quite a bit of damage in these fights.
Yep.
It's gonna be again. It's BMO that needs to make another few mistakes and need to position a bit more risky. But crucially, Bahu Tot doesn't have flash anymore. Doesn't have the ignite. As we see here, Sacknet might be getting caught.
He might be, although he does manage to dodge out most of those orbs. Doesn't take a lot of damage there and will heal up off of the camp. So here's Gorgster trying to find the catch. And yeah, it is so dangerous to get anywhere near this Xerath now. But of course, if you get near enough, you can take him down and remove most of the damage from this BMO team. This game is now on a knife's edge. No Nexus turrets remain in the JBB base. They have to keep contesting this. And remember, Infernal Soul still is being held by BMO, so they have that extra damage, and you can see Bahu Utot takes 50% of his HP from a Q. Just gotta not get poked. They need to be such a decisive play, and yeah, just any poke that goes down. Here we go. Gorgster trying to go in, only finds Graves, but that's a big source of the damage if they find him. Okay, Guardian Angel goes down. No Bamboozles has gotten the kill on the set as well. That's 2 shutdowns, and this has got to decide the game. You have to imagine GG denied on such low HP. Utot as well having to heal, and they're pushing in against. Oh no! Oh man!
Sniped in the fountain. Let's see if he gets Bahu Utot. He gets Bahu Utot too.
Lucan is playing some sort of aim labs right now while everybody else is playing League of Legends. He is destroying the opposing team there, and JBB go down to an absolute god of the rift in that Xerath. 17-4-12 at the end of that game. And man, as much if we levied any criticism of Lucan's limit testing before, well, we got to admit, Stefano and Kang, this was the Lucan